All right, let's get a check now on some of the top headlines in today's French newspapers. Diptyque Laurent has been avidly reading through them for us. Hello there.
Hi, Kat.
Now, you're starting us off with a familiar face. François Hollande might be plotting his comeback, according to some journalists.
According to Le Figaro in particular, Kat, they're reporting on what they call Operation Make Hollande Great Again. François Hollande, that is, not the country. Le Figaro says Hollande knew he'd stay in politics despite his decision not to run for re-election last year, and he's sort of coming out of his political hibernation now. He was photographed earlier this month on holiday with his partner Julie Gaillet, with, I quote, a suntan, and according to one person, frankly looking like he was in really good shape.
Yeah, he's really been looking like he's been enjoying himself.
That's
in
right,
the footage
taking care
I've
of
seen.
himself.
Yeah, taking care of himself, bit of a tan, like you say. Now that the political pressure is off his shoulders, he's been weighing into the current political situation for his successor, Emmanuel Macron.
And he's cautioned his former protégé, Emmanuel Macron, against imposing too many sacrifices on French people. This is certainly something François Hollande could relate to, probably, which is why he's giving this advice. He's also been trying to sort of take credit for the current positive climate of the French economy, sort of saying it's a spillover effect of his good actions as president. But Le Figaro's editors are not buying into it. In its front page editorial, the paper says, "Help! François Hollande is back and he hasn't changed one bit." I quote, "He was a president who accumulated over 600,000 unemployed people in 5 years. He had a record public deficit and an abysmal commercial deficit," I'm quoting there. "He's just missed a great occasion to shut up." Again, I'm quoting from Le Figaro.
Yeah, Le Figaro, which, in case our viewers aren't familiar with this, you're usually a fan of François Hollande.
No, they tend to lean to the right, sometimes quite far to the right. L'Humanité, the communist paper, which leans on the completely opposite side of the spectrum, accuses Hollande of trying to deny, quote, evidence of the political heritage that links Macron and him. Once again, evoking that idea that of paternity. The paper says Hollande refuses to accept paternity for Macron.
All right, well, François Hollande might be back. We've also got another political blast from the fairly recent past. Someone that we talked about so much at the beginning of this year, François Fillon, the former Prime Minister who was running for president. That was all scuppered, wasn't it, by this fake jobs story. Definitely not coming back to politics, it seems. Not for now, anyway.
No, not for now. It seems he's definitely not interested this year in coming back to politics. Le Figaro, again, is reporting that François Fillon is joining the private sector. He'll be working for a French investment company. He says the decision to join the private sector was influenced by the, quote, violence he suffered during the campaign. The company who hired him say they're more interested in his international experience and sharp knowledge of French political and economic issues, more so than the fact that he was prime minister. Let's hope with this real job, he can finally put the scandal of the fake jobs behind him.
All right. So from two people not really in politics anymore to someone who most certainly is, Emmanuel Macron himself, busy hammering out the 2018 budget, but he is facing criticism, some accusing him of a little bit of Pinocchio action.
That's right. In fact, that's L'Humanité, which have a great front page. Macron has been busy since coming back from his 10-day jaunt in Marseille. He's been hammering out, as you said, the French budget. He's facing criticism over his latest decision because, as candidate, Macron promised he would increase taxes, but he would lower social charges, the idea being to give French people more buying power. Well, now he's decided that the taxes will be hiked on January the 1st next year, but the social charges will be lowered at a later date. So L'Humanité is not impressed. They accuse the French president essentially of being Pinocchio, of lying through his teeth. Macron's dirty tricks, l'entourloupe, that's what they say on their front page. Now, L'Opinion, the right-wing paper, has another pretty interesting front page, using this time with Macron and Gérald Darmanin, who's the French Minister for Public Accounts. He's the one who sort of boasted that this idea would give everybody more money and it would help reduce the deficit. Well, L'Opinion says they're dancing a slow rumba. One step forward, Macron says, 2 steps back. It's pretty clear what they think about it.
I have to say, rumba is more of a side-to-side dance for anyone who's ever done it, but I see what they're saying. We'll move on with a little bit of space news. The entrepreneur Elon Musk revealing a new spacesuit, according to the French Huffington Post. It's ultra-modern, as one might expect.
It's ultra-modern, and it's one that will, according to Huffington Post, make the one worn by French astronaut Thomas Pesquet look out of date. That's what they say, ringard. Elon Musk says it combines aesthetics with practicality. He's hoping to use it on one of the first tourist space trips around the moon planned for next year. I think it's one of those times that French fashion is eclipsed by the modernity of US invention.
Yeah, I can imagine Jean-Paul Gaultier getting involved with some kind of collaboration there. Speaking of being eclipsed, we can end with a story from the free street paper 20 Minutes. An American rapper who's had to cancel concerts because of the solar eclipse on Monday.
Perhaps you can guess why. His name is Joey Badass. Like many Americans, he turned out to watch the solar eclipse around the States on Monday. He deemed himself, though, way too cool to don those rather unsightly but highly protective glasses. Like President Donald Trump, the rapper looked directly at the solar eclipse. 20 Minutes says he's since had to cancel 3 concerts because he says he's got problems with his eyesight now.
Oh my goodness, that's... like your mum says, never look directly at the sun. Thank you very much. Laurent there, rounding up some of the top French newspaper headlines for us.